What is up, Ancestral minions? Colin here for another video about carnivore. Is carnivore the best diet for weight loss or fat loss? My answer is yes, but there are some variables. If you do a carnivore diet that is on the keto end of the spectrum, where you do a lot of fat and you have lower protein, that can kind of get you to level 1 fat loss. Beyond that, you have to get to what I think is the ultimate holy grail of weight loss, human nutrition, and just what's optimal for the human animal. It is a protein priority, primarily animal-based way of eating. And so I'm hesitant to call it a carnivore diet because I do think there are certain plant foods that you can add that can help you, whether that is just for life enjoyment or mixing it up, etc. And I've been doing that myself in my life. If we were going to go strict carnivore, it would be a carnivore with protein as a priority. Now, this puts you in the range. An average is about 35% protein. There have been some hunter-gatherers that have been observed that have eaten as much as 50% of their calories from protein, but that is at the high end of the spectrum. I don't know about you, but if you've ever tried eating 50% of your calories from protein, it's tough. It's like you're stuffing your face pretty much. Protein is the most satiating nutrient. It is nitrogen, as Ted Nyman likes to talk about it, whereas fat is energy. Anytime you can prioritize something for repair and recovery, which protein is, rather than energy, which fat is excess stored energy, you're going to be closer to that fat burning end of the spectrum, and you're going to be closer to reducing the likelihood of fat gain or fat storage. By going carnivore, you eliminate all the issues that you can get with plants and carbs and whatever. And there is a case to be made for having carbs and maybe refeeding or at certain times. It can definitely help with fat loss. So if that's something you want to look into, then it would be a carnivore diet that is protein prioritized, that has a little bit of select carbohydrates as part of the diet. Now, I will say the best diet would also include some form of intermittent fasting, time-restricted feeding, and or 1, 2, 3 day fasts on a regular basis. You can't beat that. And fasting is the first principle of biology. Our ancestors would not have eaten all the time. Some people think it's a weight loss hack or gimmick or this or whatever. No. It's the first principle of health. So I always tell people you need some kind of meal timing built into your life. If you want to live a long time and be healthy, especially if you want to lose weight or do anything to regulate your hormones or just feel better, look better, sleep better, whatever, you need time-restricted intermittent fasting, and you should be doing multi-day fasts every so often. Of course, consult your doctor. This makes it so that the best diet for weight loss, fat loss, health, longevity, humans is an animal-based way of eating. That's the first principle for sure. Time-restricted feeding, intermittent fasting, mixing up meals, skipping meals, etc. That's the first principle. And then prioritizing protein. That's the first principle. And when I say prioritize protein, I'm still talking about 70, potentially 80% of your calories from fat. It's not like high protein or more protein than fat. Like that's just not what we're talking about here. You're going to naturally eat more fat. It's really hard to eat most of your calories from protein. And you can get things like rapid starvation and putting a strain on your kidneys and things like that. I think some of that's a little overblown. Like I think if you had to survive on mostly protein, as long as you had enough fat in there to make sure you don't rabbit starve, you'd be okay. But it's just hard to consume that much protein. I don't think it's biologically the thing. I think our ancestors would have prioritized fatty meat and fatty cuts and organs and things like that. And I think that the protein would have fallen in that range around 25 to 35%. So if you're trying to lose weight, go to that upper tier. Maybe even test what 40% of your calories is like, or 50%. See how you feel doing that a couple of days. And then what you'll find, what I found, if you listen to your appetite and let it kind of guide you, you're going to end up between 25 to 35%. Anything under 25%, in my opinion, pure opinion, is too low. And women, you see this a lot. They don't prioritize protein. They fall into snacking and optimizing carbs and fat and energy. And there's maybe a lot of hormonal reasons for this and whatever, but getting more protein in the diet is going to help, especially if you're trying to lose weight. And that's true of men and women, of course. Prioritize protein, animal-based nutrition, raw, real ingredients at the baseline, like the best food that you can get, the best ingredients, cooking at home, not eating at restaurants, not eating out of a package, intermittent fasting, multi-day fasts, the ultimate holy grail for fat loss, for weight loss, for health, for longevity, for everything. Simplicity, saving money, everything. Let me know, is there anything that I missed out? What do you think is the best diet for fat loss, weight loss, health, etc.? Which reminds me, the best diet for fat loss and weight loss is also the best diet for longevity. I don't buy into the 30, 60-day protocols and starvations and things like that for fat loss, I think your best bet is to get down to your baseline. Let your appetite get down to its baseline. Let your body get down to its baseline. Listen to it. Toggle a few things like fat and protein and carbs or whatever. And then let your body get you to where it's supposed to be. Your body's supposed to be naturally lean, fit, have some muscle, get outside, move, exercise, whatever. That is your natural set point. Letting your body get there is the best diet way to, period, for humans. It just is. Don't think of this as like a weight loss protocol. Think of it as developing your best diet for yourself, and then your body will just melt away everything that's outside of it that does not belong. You will get that when you do an animal-based way of eating, a primarily carnivore-based diet. Maybe you have a little bit of plants, maybe you don't. Optimize protein, control your fat intake, clean sources, maybe take a walk every day, do a little bit of exercise, whatever, and you will become the body you're meant to be. Hey, Colin here. Got a freebie for you. Click on the button below to go to the ancestralmind.com and download the 7 Principles of Living Wild. This is a short PDF that's got some of the main principles, such as real food, sleep, movement, and a couple more that are going to help you live more ancestrally in accordance with your genes.